We're recording this time. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Hastly Kayfabed recap for November the 9th, 2016.
It ain't Christmas yet, Ty. Come on.
Hey, tell my job that.
No, trust me. Once it is, I will be wearing my official Christmas shirt, which has the Macho Man Randy Savage on it. It says, "Christmas is coming. Ooh, yeah."
Oh, boy. The full staff is here for once. How you fellas doing? Well, for once at the beginning of the show, how you fellas doing?
All right.
Oh, great. Make America great again.
Well, make America broken again. Anyway.
Delete!
Well, so we
Which
did
can
the
go
Hillary
both
last
ways,
night.
to be honest.
Yeah, really. Anyway, I
You may
guess
interpret that deletion any way you wish, viewers. It doesn't matter to me.
Anyway, time to talk about some news. And once again, we got poked from the TNA, but it's only a little bit this time. But the
Only a little bit.
But the big news, of course, is that Anthem Sports, the same people who own the UFC, has agreed to a
Fight Network.
Fight Network. Well,
I was about to say, hang on a second.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah. UFC,
I know the UFC got new owners, but they're not that stupid.
Yeah, I mean, do you imagine UFC actually buying them?
Okay, Anthem Sports, the same people who run the Fight Network. My mistake. This is Hastly Kayfabe. Has reached a, quote, credit agreement to fund TNA, Impact Ventures LLC, and Dixie Carr stays as a board and chair manager's director, a.k.a. statue role. What do you call it?
Somehow she'll worm her way into fucking power. She needs to be off that board entirely.
I know. Why does this woman still keep getting power? Why is it just...
People Yeller treatment.
Say again?
She needs to get the old Yeller treatment.
I don't get it. This woman has nearly destroyed this company at least several different occasions.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't directly her that tried to destroy it on several different occasions. It was the people that she brought in that tried to destroy the company several different times. She brought in Russo twice. She brought in Hogan and Bischoff. And then, she's trying to bring in other people that have tried to, split and destroy the company, whether for their own personal gain or whether for their own good, i.e. somebody whom she owes a lot of money to at this moment in time.
Yes.
The guy tried to help her.
Yes, unfortunately. So, what do you think about Dixie Carr's... Okay, we did just at least said Dixie Carr being essentially a figurehead and role, and Anthem Sports is going to insert their own people to actually do the running of the company. This, of course, means, if we haven't announced it already, Billy Corgan has been relieved of his role as president of TNA operations.
That's going to be awkward because he's still on TV until the end of the year.
Yeah, I know.
Considering he left already, so this is one of those things of, oh, what do we expect now?
Well,
they're gonna have they already paid him
out?
for his on-air appearances, or
why they
They
can't
didn't
blur...
even pay him for the company. They ain't going to pay him for his on-air appearances.
Well, they still have some problems with Billy Corgan because last week we said they had to first to pay him back from a court order. Bill Corgan says that he still has not been paid back from TNA. Remind you, this is $1.8 million. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. If TNA was sold to another company, then Billy Corgan was supposed to receive an additional $900,000. But since this technically isn't a sale, this is just, quote, a credit agreement, that's another disparity Billy Corgan's in the middle of. In other words, whether Dixie Carr is trying to play some red tape haha or not.
I don't think Dixie is smart enough to put up something like that. I'm sure that's her lawyers.
I think it's either more either the lawyers or Anthem Sports not wanting to pony up another $900,000.
Yeah.
It looks like to me with Anthem Sports, they already know they're at a loss and they just want to get this shit over with.
Well, they have been trying to get Billy Corgan to take a payoff and go away, so...
You know what'd be funny?
What's
It'll
that?
be funny. This whole debacle is over, and Fight Network and Anthem Sports are like, great. We've done everything that we needed to do. Now we're going to destroy the company and do what Billy Corgan wanted to do anyway.
They still need to.
That's-
They still need to implode TNA, no matter who the owners are. The brand and the name is completely destroyed.
Will, you read my mind. I don't have to speak anymore on this TNA subject.
There we go. So, do you want to run through the list of? Oh no, shit! You got another. Who the
There's a
fuck is
couple
this guy?
other ones.
Oh yeah, you did. Oh yeah, I was about to say. I just paused because that's still a little more to the Billy Corgan saga.
Oh.
Now, Billy Corgan still demands to be paid back. Now, according to that said court order, if Billy Corgan isn't paid back, he has the option to convert up to 1/3 of TNA stock to ownership to him. In other words, he will get like 38%, I think the judge says, which he could do anything he wants, including possibly sell it to WWE. Now, will he do it? Now, will WWE buy it? Probably not. But what do you think about the option?
Remember the last Nitro?
Well, was Shane McMahon walk?
It depends on who's majority owner.
It will still
I
be
mean-
TNA because to be majority only, you have to be at least 51%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, unless WWE can somehow... If this is true, if this does happen, assuming WWE can squirm off another 13%, which I severely doubt.
I honestly think WWE won't touch it, even if they had the opportunity to.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said
It's-
this chances are isn't going to happen.
Yeah, it's enough to the point where getting near that company is going to make WWE's reputation worse. So it's particularly since people are still kind of reeling and we're still seeing the after effects of the WCW WWE buyout. You know, that they have to try and rectify a match from 12 years ago, 12 years ago.
12.
Yeah, 12. So, you know, I was just like, stay away from that right now. If it were completely in the gutter, it'd be a different story.
Well,
But-
bottom line, Will, me and you, we're about the same age. Ty's an old fossil, and I think John will get this too. But it's almost like there's a baby roof in the pool when it comes to TNA.
Well, yeah.
Oh, boy. So, last bit of TNA news, and almost the last bit of regular news because the next one's a rumor. Senior Director of Creative Writing, Dave Laguna, leaves the company.
No shit.
Well, I guess that's
Well,
what happens
shit.
when you don't get paid.
Yeah.
Say again?
Bottom line, that was the issue with Laguna. He wasn't getting paid.
Yeah. I was like, this is what happens. If you don't get paid enough, I'm done. Anyway, we already reviewed last week's the lawsuit. Unfortunately, nothing's changed. They still owe $3.5 million+. So, on to the rumor. PPG Paints Arena has announced that the main event of WWE Roadblock is Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Universal Championship via Twitter.
And I did actually see the source for it. It's still up. I'm still putting this under rumor and speculation, but that's why I put it there is because it's still up. I found this the day we finished taping last week.
Yeah, I was about to say, it literally popped up like last Wednesday.
And I just clicked on the link. It's still there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still putting that under rumor and speculation, but the fact that it's still there and it hasn't been deleted yet, broken Matt Hardy joke not intended. The fact that it's still there, I think gives it some credibility. But until we know past Survivor Series, we don't know what's going to happen. And I'm really surprised that Roadblock is in December and not in February.
Yeah,
But-
people name like Roadblock, it should be the whole, like it was last year, the one thing in the path of the way to WrestleMania.
Well, yeah, because it's on the road to WrestleMania. This should be after the Rumble.
Right,
Well,
so
I
these
will say
these
this-
pay-per-views need to be switched around. Whatever's after the Rumble should be
Well,
Cookies.
Is anybody eating while we're on the air?
No,
oh yeah, there are at least 2 people eating while we're on the air.
I'm
I
still
know
eating my
I'm eating.
pizza. I'm
Yeah,
still eating
I
my
am.
pizza.
I am.
Well, what's wrong with that? I mean, we're hungry.
This is dinner time for
I
most of
find
us.
it hilarious because I hear the rappers going, and that's louder than our voice.
That's because we're not talking directly into the microphone.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And now I'm talking into the microphone right now.
Hello, Ninja.
Hi, Ninja. Anyway,
Anyway,
I did the whole time.
anyway,
But I was trying to say was the fact that, say what you will about Roman, I think him and Owens would tear the house down regardless. It'll be an entertaining, hard-hitting match.
and
with
since
Kevin Owens carrying the fucking match.
and since there's
Yeah, well,
and since there's a safe chance Owens is going to remain champion after Survivor Series, because obviously he's not defending the title, that's a strong bet. So, this next thing kind of flows into our Raw recap. The State of the WWE debate will be held next week on Monday Night Raw, with Shane and Stephanie coming to Raw to face off against Mick Foley and Shane and Brian coming to Raw to face off against Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley. I cannot read right.
swing and a miss, buddy.
Anyway, guess this brings us up to Raw, which announced that Seth Rollins is announced as the 5th member of Team Raw. Which, if I remember now, brings us to Kevin Owens as assumed captain, Chris Jericho
As also assumed captain.
They are co-captains, sir.
of course.
The old school Survivor Series where the teams had co-captains.
And I had a Survivor Series match as a recommendation, but I have something else this week. But anyway, Braun Strowman, freaking Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. What do you
Here
think
comes Braun Strowman to take out the 205 line. Vince, just let me have this.
Oh, man.
So what does everyone
That
think
was
of?
brilliant. I gotta say, that was brilliant.
So what does everybody? Go
An
ahead.
amazing site. Free plug. Bot Spot is amazing.
So what does everybody think of Team Raw's Survivor Series team?
Both teams are impressive.
True, we'll get.
As if well, it worked though.
Oh, it's gonna work.
Oh, it's
a
gonna
Survivor
work. It's Survivor
You can't-
Series. They always, if it's a heel face mix, they always argue. They always bitter. At the last minute, they pull themselves together. Yeah, the heel's gonna pull some heel tactics. Maybe a couple of them will walk out, but it's always gonna be a full match.
Full of bad news, Brown. Rest in peace.
I know. Speaking of Survivor Series, we found out that the rest of the members of the tag team are Enzo and Cass, which they announced on YouTube, and the Club, Golden Truth, Sheamus, and Cesaro will join the New Day.
That's gonna be a fun.
So, let's see here. 2 good tag teams, a really fucked up tag team. Golden Truth are going to be joining the Ginyu Force of the tag team division.
Yep.
And I'm sure, as I say, if Xavier Woods listens to this podcast, I highly doubt it. But if he ever does, he would proudly wear the title of Captain Ginyu.
Hey.
He gets turned into a frog later on, but we won't get into that.
Aw.
Right.
We already discussed Shane and Daniel Bryan's going to be on Raw next week, so let's skip to the Women's Survivor Series team. Charlotte as team captain, Bayley, Nia Jax, Alicia Fox, and Sasha Banks to make up Team Raw.
Pull the socks off of the mothballs to put her in this match.
Mind you, Dana Brooke has been named an alternate.
Oh,
Kevin
God.
Owens crushed Alicia Fox.
Please get rid of Alicia Fox. Please. Please.
I love you, Alicia.
You people.
Yeah, but then she'll be replaced by Dana Brooke.
Which would be great.
Which would be fantastic. This is
Mhm.
Alicia Fox.
True. Her
Oh, I'd take Ray on the team.
Her act has been known to be a lethal weapon of mass destruction. Anyway, Sami Zayn will face off, and I just realized I just skipped over all of NXT, but we'll get to that a little later. Sami Zayn will be.
Further, there's one thing that we just can't skip over and act like it didn't happen. The
What's
fact that the crowd practically hijacked that segment and made it all about Bailey. Which is
Oh
awesome.
yeah. If
Oh,
you
is
did-
that what they were singing?
Yeah, they
I
were
couldn't
singing.
figure out what they were singing about. It was just like,
Oh,
hey. That's all I heard.
It's more, hey, we want some Bailey. Ooh,
It's
uh,
a
I
football
want-
song, soccer song, but yeah.
And well, yeah, it's Britain. What do you expect? Because I think they were in Liverpool.
yeah. This
I think-
apparently.
If they were in Liverpool, Liverpool's known to hijack everything, so it doesn't really matter, including cars.
But yeah, they pretty much.
sorry, folks.
They pretty much had to cut out 10 and about a whole minute of the show because the crowd wouldn't stop singing.
Yeah, and Charlotte was. She was trying to play off of it, but it went too long, and of course everybody's starting to laugh. But I think Charlotte had the right idea, trying to get some heat off of it and trying to turn the audience to pay attention to her. But this is also Liverpool; they weren't having any of it.
Not a cent of it.
Nope.
Bailey's adorable. God bless her.
Well, we know that
Hopefully,
her boyfriend is the luckiest bastard in the world. Anyway,
anyway, last bit of Raw news, and then we'll take a pause for our new segment. But Sami Zayn will will be Dolph Ziggler's opponent for the Intercontinental Championship at Survivor Series.
New
There-
IC chair,
there-
folks. Pulling it now.
Ladies and gentlemen, call the cops. That's going to be your show stealer for the night.
That's gonna be That's gonna be the 5-star match.
oh, shut up, Dave Meltzer. Anyway,
Anyway, taking a pause because I accidentally just rolled right into Raw because that mixed up with the news. We have a mini segment we're going to try out on this week's show. It's called Will's Booking Toilet. Now, as you know,
I didn't even know about it until today. So
yeah, because I came up with it today. So
I know. That's
but here-
hastily kayfabe, folks.
But here's the idea: the current leader of our little pay-per-view poll, will come over an idea, and the wrestlers will try to book it as best as possible. Now, since it's the inaugural one, I'll probably never get my lead back. I'm taking the first one. And
That's bullshit. The 1 week I'm in, I could freaking do it. I got the X name. It's okay.
well, this is experimental. See if this actually will work. And here's my idea: WrestleMania 33. Mark. No, this is the setup, and then we're just going to roll from there. WrestleMania 30, and this is probably a horrible idea, but hey, this is just for fun. WrestleMania 33, Mark Henry wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. The fans love him. He's got Twitter support. His name is everywhere. And Vince McMahon sees this and decides, you know what? Let's give him one final World Championship run, because Henry also announced the day after on Raw that this will be his last year, that WrestleMania 34 will be his final match. How would we do it?
Wait. WrestleMania 34?
No, remember, this is just for fun. At WrestleMania 33, next year, this coming WrestleMania, Henry goes into Andre the Giant Battle Royal, wins the whole thing. Gets super popular. They decide to put one of the titles on him, so we don't even know who's going to be a champion at this point. We can make that up too. And he also announces that WrestleMania 34 will be his last match.
Okay.
That's really interesting.
First of all, you just took away one of Mark Henry's biggest strengths,
What's that?
the House of Pain.
Yeah, Well,
Um,
it can still be worked.
if
into it.
he's that big, he can't be a heel.
Well, who knows?
If people are behind him and he's saying this is going to be my retirement match,
No, his retirement.
this is going to be my retirement run. You know, and this isn't going to be Ric Flair's retirement run. It's not going to last 5 years. It's going to be, a 1-year thing.
It can still be done as a heel.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well,
Not
think about it. We never established which championship he has to go after. So
Depends on how you do it.
let's say you have John. Let's say you
The
have,
Hall of Fame thing as a face as well. If you have a good enough heel for him to go up against.
well, yeah, but I still think that his biggest strength is that as a heel, not as a babyface.
No, I understand. Because I
with
mean,
that
can you
said-
picture a mega face Henry going after, I don't know, Rusev finally getting the push that he deserves. You make Rusev this monster heel champion, and him taking on a monster heel champion of the past at WrestleMania. That'd be fun. I think a match between the two done
Okay,
right.
no, that would make sense. I'm just saying his biggest strength of being a heel is
Well,
taken away.
Well,
But now when you throw him up against somebody like Rusev,
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
remember,
I
we
think
have an
that-
entire
that
year to
makes
build this up, and you don't have to have the championship match at WrestleMania. You can have him be champion, let's say, bullshit pay-per-view number 186 and lose it at WrestleMania.
well, yeah, he'd have to for retirement.
Yeah.
He'd have to for retirement. So he's got to beat Rusev, and the question is, who do you want him to lose it to at the end? Now, at that point in time, there are a couple things that could be done. 6 months in, 6 months. Let's say WrestleMania. Let's take it all the way up to SummerSlam. That's what, 3.5 months, 4 months?
Yeah, roughly.
Pretty much.
Okay, so 3.5 months to 4 months. He's got the title, and then you have him have a change of heart. Okay, he's beaten Rusev. He's beaten the big monster. He's just as big. He's done it. He's gotten whatever top title it is.
Then you have
He
him
turns
turn on the
around and
fans.
says, "Dude, I'm champion. I just beat the biggest motherfucker that's here. You can't get rid of me now.
Who's gonna
Look who
stop?
I've beaten. I've beaten monster after monster after monster after monster. Has he beaten the Big Show?
Well, he has,
Yeah.
but you can have him like go on a run where he beats Big Show. He somehow gets a win over Lesnar, and it builds up to the match against Rusev.
I wouldn't
said
throw him up
somehow.
against, I wouldn't throw him up against Lesnar, honestly.
No,
Then
you
what?
have Kane beat
Okay,
Show.
okay,
Yeah,
Kane,
Show, yeah.
and I'll throw in
Yeah.
Kevin Owens.
Bring
Yeah,
Taker on.
Well, no, I wouldn't do Taker. Not at this point in time, because Taker again, part-timer, and I honestly don't think he would fit, because I don't think he really qualifies as a monster heel. I think he's too much of a phenomenon to really qualify as that, Big Show Kane,
He's
Mark Henry, Rusev,
he's the elder statesman, so no one's gonna boo him no matter what he does.
Goldberg, hell, even Goldberg. But I don't think Goldberg's going to be around by that point in time. With that said, you then throw him into either an underdog situation, whether it's Sami Zayn, they're finally building him up, or let's see here, Dolph Ziggler, somebody to do that. Either that, or you throw him up against somebody just as big.
That big
Gosh,
Chinese-
I think well, hey, what if we could do this? And you have to build them up at the same time. Finally have Nakamura drop the belt of NXT by WrestleMania 33. You build him up over the first 6 months.
Just a small pause. I meant to say this at the beginning. We're also assuming Nakamura and Joe have jumped to the roster the Raw after the Raw or SmackDown after WrestleMania.
Maybe Joe hasn't. Who cares? But let's say Nakamura jumps. Let's say we have Nakamura jump. Okay.
All right.
Okay. You build him for 6 months.
No. Oh, sorry.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. Did Nakamura offend you?
No, someone sent me something that made me a little bit angry.
Anyway.
Well, throw a couple of Stone Cold salutes to it, and then Anyway, so Nakamura comes in. You build him up for 6 months. Holy fuck! Do the Ultimate Warrior bit. Not necessarily title for title, but if Nakamura wins, he wins the world title. Whomever is who. Well, actually, yeah, do the Warrior thing. Whomever wins walks out with both belts.
Kind of like with Warrior Hogan, where they had them beating the same guys leading up to the match.
Exactly. But and here you go, the House of Pain versus the King of Strong Style. And not only are you building Nakamura, you have a monster heel that he can work with. Nakamura is strong as hell. And I personally think while he's stiff, I think he's good enough to the point where even some of his stronger stuff, I think Henry could take it. Depending on how things go, he needs to learn how to block. If Henry can block that Kinshasa, then we're okay. Because I think that was the problem with both Joe and Aries. And we'll get into Aries in a bit. But at the end of that, you have Nakamura come in. You legitimize the title again. You legitimize the title even more because not only is AJ. I mean, you've had AJ already hold one of those titles, right?
Yeah.
Whatever title it is, you legitimize it even more in the eyes of the fans. And in this case, I would probably do it with the Universal title because the Universal title. Despite the fact Kevin Owens, in my opinion, does legitimize the title, despite the fact that Finn Balor does have that thing there, I think Nakamura, with his big pedigree in NJPW, would be the guy. And then you throw him up against Finn Balor, and then you throw him up against some other people. But that's getting ahead of myself. I wouldn't be able to come up with a finish. Because I don't know how to do finishes. I mean, I would love to study under Eddie Graham, but unfortunately, he died. That was a guy that would be specific about finishes.
A nice finish. For Henry, if Henry were to beat Nakamura, can you imagine if he goes for the? I still call it the Boombaye. If he goes for the Boombaye and freaking Henry just catches him and hits him with the world's strongest slam.
Oh, jeez.
I think the wind would be sucked out of the building if that happened.
Yeah, it would. It would.
You know how
but you need to do that on a prior pay-per-view.
Yeah, like the catch finish in the WWE game where he freaking goes for the Boombaye.
Yeah.
Henry grabs him, tosses him up, and does the world. Oh my God! I think the building would explode.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but you need to do it on a prior pay-per-view.
So I just got an idea.
You knock him out for 2 months. In fact, do it on the Rumble.
Do it on
the Rumble. And then put him out for a month and a half. He comes back. I can beat you, Henry, one more time at WrestleMania.
Either Shane or Stephanie books the match. Well, okay, it's the Universal, so it'll be Stephanie.
If it's Universal, it'll be Steph. Yeah, Stephanie and Mick.
Basically, say flat out. He said, "I'm the king of strong" with his broken English.
I'm glad he speaks in English, even if it is broken as all hell. It's enough where it's okay and it works and
it gets the message across.
It gets the message across as long as it's short and sweet. I'm happy with it.
You could have the one-liner of "I am the king of strong striker and strong style, and I'm coming to conquer the Hall of Fame."
Like, I'm the king of strong style. I'm coming to close down the Hall of Fame for good, the Hall of Pain for good. John Reed, you want to add anything to all this?
Hang on. I don't know. Give me just a second. You guys keep talking. Hang on a minute.
I mean, hell, I think we set it up pretty good right now.
Yeah, really.
Just don't know what to put with that. It's just.
Well, I guess since that was so short, you have anyone that could come up to the top of your head, Lou? Or should we just move on to NXT?
Hey, I'm fine with where we went.
I think.
I meant another random booking topic. Or you want to just move on to NXT since this would be technically your week if we did this the way we were supposed to.
Well, let's move on to NXT. If I can pull something out of my ass before the show's over, we can go with that.
That's fine.
All right, so
NXT 361, not to be confused with anything else, whatever the hell that means. This was a recap show of the second round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament match, whatever the fuck. The DRTTC, as I like to say. 2 of the matches were actually from NXT San Jose. So those of you guys that were in California that got to see it, I'm glad. The first match that they showed was Roderick Strong and Austin Aries versus TM61. Now I know what TM means.
Technical machine?
No, it means the mighty.
Oh, I still like Technical Machine. Anyway.
Well, yeah, that's because it's funnier. Maybe they're actually Pokemon fans. Anyway, I'm sorry, the match is incorrect. It's actually Roderick Strong versus Shane Thorne. And the reason why is because Austin Aries took a boombaye to the face, and
broke his jaw.
he ended up looking like an ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, he broke his orbital, didn't he?
He's got a broken eye, as he put it. He has a broken eye.
It is. I saw the picture of it. Oh my gosh, what happened to you?
Yeah, he got hit hard. So
Like, the thing is, it is the King of Strong style.
yeah, but at the same time, I think we need to hold back a little bit on the boombaye, and I also think, and boombaye flows so much more easily than Kinshasa. What the fuck?
I know why they changed it, but still.
Yeah, I know why they changed it. The other thing is I think everybody needs to learn to block. Because if he's been using that move for a while and no one else has really gotten broken faces from it, they need to learn how to block.
Well, same thing with the Styles Clash. They had to learn how to take it if they're going to use it.
Yeah.
Well,
So
No, it's gonna be like this. Blocking? What's that?
I
Well,
didn't,
can
I,
I
didn't,
say-
I didn't know I was playing DSP and Street Fighter. Go ahead.
So anyway,
No, go
William
ahead,
Regal
Lou.
comes out.
Actually, go ahead, Lou.
No, what I was gonna say is, did you guys see how freaking Shinsuke's leg and foot looked after that match? It was
No.
just bruised as bruised and gnarly as Aries' face was.
Yes,
So
but
they-
it wasn't
Yeah.
broken.
He's probably expecting Aries to block until contact made.
So I'm sitting here reading green beans. Regal comes out and says, "Look, we're expecting a match. We can't do it, but here's the deal. We got to have a match here. So I tell you what, Roderick Strong, take on one of the guys from TM61. The winner of that match will advance their team to the next round. What do you say?" Aries, and surprisingly enough, in a very non-heel way, Strong and Aries agree. They are confident enough that Strong is good enough to beat one of these bastards.
What can
Unfortunately, Shane Thorne wins with a small package.
Small package of doom.
Small package, folks. 1, 2, 3. You don't need to hit a fucking finisher. Small package. 1, 2, 3. Done. Perfect. I actually love this match. This match was great. It showcased Strong's good points. It put Thorne over a bit more. Thorne, I think, by himself was a good talent. It works out really well.
Remember, almost every major match in ECW ended with a schoolboy.
Oh yeah, and
Well,
remember
this wasn't a schoolboy, but it was a small package.
Well, remember these
Well,
matches in ECW have like 6 finishers going off in a chain sequence. People hitting each other with everything, including the kitchen sink.
And then Dreamer catch someone in a fucking roll-up.
I swore I forgot what New Jack's finisher was for a long time because he won most of his matches with a damn schoolboy.
Either schoolboy or roll-up. It's a headbutt off the top.
I know, but for a while it was like I swore that's his finisher until I actually saw it. Until I saw the 187 headbutt.
Oh, jeez.
I'm sorry to say this, but when I hear of New Jack, I just think of what Culture showed off, like the videos of, "This is New Jack. You do not mess with New Jack. He will mess you up."
Yes, but that's the problem. He will. But, even Cornette respects, New Jack. I mean, he was the one who put together the Gangsters.
Hell.
Regardless of what you think about Jack, his talent can't be denied.
That's very true.
Even WWE
And-
released a video of I think the top 5 or 10 stars that never came to WWE, and New Jack was one of top
Jack
stars,
was
and New Jack was one of them.
I think he was like number 2.
Yeah, I think
Could
he
you
was like the second
imagine
one.
if New Jack was around now? He would like. He'd
Well-
be running all
Well, he wouldn't be
sorts
able
of
to walk.
events.
I don't want to take this too far off track, but you remember back a couple years ago? New Jack was supposed to feud with John Cena at one time.
Oh, that would have been bad news.
Here's a little.
Yeah.
Here's a backstory behind it, if I remember it right. Do you remember the feud between John Cena and Carlito, where Cena supposedly got injured in a nightclub?
Mhm.
Oh, that was supposed to be New Jack?
Yep.
That would have made more sense.
It would. If it was New Jack, it would have been so legitimate that it would have been like they should have had him like with a big old bandage around his back, like around him. Next, it's like,
What was really
they
to
should-
bring New Jack in. I don't know if a lot of people know this story or not. To bring New Jack in, they decided to put him in the ring and have him chain wrestle with Val Venus.
Oh God.
That didn't work very well.
Bye.
When he couldn't keep up with Val Venus, they're like, "Oh no, we can't bring this guy in," which is a crock. Because New Jack's not a fucking chain wrestler.
Well, he's not a chain wrestler. He's a brawler.
No, he's a brawler. He's a brawler. Now, granted, I think you need to know the basics of that stuff, but at the same time, I mean, exactly. You gotta have the right.
We didn't see the chain wrestling match, so if he's a drizzling and he can't even do basic high school wrestling, then yeah, I can see why WWE turned him down. But his style fits of a street fighter. He's not going to beat you with a headlock. He's going to beat you with his fist. And
the trash can and the stick and the baseball bat and the chair and whatever railing that he tends to find and the table.
You forgot the staple gun.
And we can't go too far. Kitchen sink.
Can we just remember
besides staple gun is that crazy butcher guy didn't he die or something like that?
No. You're talking about Necro.
Oh,
Necro Butcher or whatever. Whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Okay, here's I'm going to say this. Like, when I was watching another video that showed about how New Jack had a thing that they find out that the kid that they had in the ring was actually not 18.
The mass transit incident.
Yeah, and the fact the thing is, I see what New Jack is capable of.
To be fair, he didn't know. Okay?
No one did.
No one did. So really, it wasn't his fault. But at the same time, yeah, when you're dealing with somebody who you're just picking out of the audience or the street or whatever, that's a problem.
Yeah, the kid literally just walked up to Heyman and said, "Hey, I'm a worker." Oh, okay.
That's a real good idea.
For people who don't fully understand, supposedly one of the Rottens got injured, and they were scheduled to face the Gangsters, New Jack and Mustafa. So the 17-year-old kid who posed as a full-grown adult that was supposedly trained by Killer Kowalski ran up and said, "Oh yeah, I'm a wrestler. I could do this." And Heyman, in a rare moment of bad booking, decide, let's do this, and New Jack beat the kid to the point where his mother had to jump up and say, "Oh, please stop, he's only a 17-year-old kid."
I thought it was his dad.
Well, one of his parents.
Something like that.
You know what's sad, though? Mass Transit actually passed away from a botched gastric bypass surgery.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, that shit's kind of a down. I'm sorry, I just changed.
Well, let's go back to NXT.
Let's go back to NXT. This part was actually brilliant. This was brilliant. We're finally going to see the rematch. DIY with T-shirts, with everything coming out. They're going to get their revenge on the Revival. Finally, they're going to go out and face the Revival, the tag team champs. And out comes the Revival, and one of them is on crutches.
It's like,
classic. The guy comes. I forget which one is talking. It might have been Dawes, but holy fuck, I stretched my ACL, I sprained my MCL, I tore my meniscus, I did this, I did that, and he just builds it up, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is a fucking work. But it's hilarious to watch them just say, you know what, fuck you guys, you're not going to fight us.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is you're going to get lucky. We're going to forfeit. You guys get to go on ahead. Because you got lucky. If we were at full strength, we would have kicked your ass and blah, 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 blah. It was brilliant. So your winners, via forfeit, DIY. They move on to the next fight. I forget who it was. We then have a recap of another NXT match. Say again?
Can I say one thing about DIY, by the way?
What about him?
Anybody who knows me knows I'm a mark for tag team wrestling. I fucking love watching those guys. I just had to get that up.
Well, Ciampa and Gargano are fantastic, and they work really well. They work really, really, really well.
When the time comes for the revival...
Machine. I really wish there was a time machine. I would have loved to see DIY work Anderson and Blanchard. Oh my god.
Well, they kind of are with the revival, but it's more like Arn and Ole. But you know,
But then again, also you could take that same time machine and go imagine the revival facing the face Steiners in WWE.
no, back further than that.
Oh?
Dusty and Magnum.
Oh,
Dusty. You're awesome, Will.
Anyway, we have a recap of NXT San Jose. Yes, yet again, we have the team of Eddie Gordo and Tiger Jackson once again versus the authors of D-Lo. My mission in the next several lines, was to figure out how many ways I could make fun of the authors of Pain. So we got the authors of D-Lo in there. Your winners via near squash match. The authors of the Boss Man's Attitude Era outfit.
I was just about to toss out the line about, I guess they're from Cobb County, huh? But
Will you never take a trip down to Cobb County, Georgia?
And so they move on. They move on to face DIY.
So it's going to be DIY
it'll be the authors of the Truth Commission in the semifinals. Unfortunately, they will not have Cyrus with them, or the Jackal. Unfortunately, we're just glad that Paul Ellering isn't pulling out a hand puppet right now. Okay, I'm just happy about that.
I was about to say, it's nice for him to dust off Rocco.
Yeah, but at this rate, he's probably on the phone with Animal, like, Animal, do you still want to do those goof-off commercials, or are you willing to come back to the ring one more time?
Jeez, I honestly think he's too old to try anymore. But at least he's having fun.
But that's another person we could throw in the link of reincarnation one day. Anyway, but then we'd have to turn Paul into Precious Paul, so we'd have the long flowing locks, and then we'd have to have a boring match for 15 minutes in a cage, only to have Ole try and come in and beat up Paul. Anyway,
we go back to the fantasy of having Animal team with Darso to take on the New Day and get the belts off them.
Jeez, that would be funny.
Oh my god.
Anyway, let's see here. So what we now have is we have the tag team of the Cruiserweights, TJ Perkins, without the Cruiserweight title belt again, because they have recognized him as no longer champion, with Kota Ibushi versus Sanity. My only thing that I could figure out, are Sanity Warhammer 40K fans?
Well, maybe. Who knows?
They got fucking Chaos Undivided symbols all over the place. Anyways, you got a crazy double team finisher with Fulton, and I forget who the other guy's name is. But these two guys, they're a monster tag team. I like the both of them. I like the way Sanity's being built up. I can't wait to see Eric Young fight, but at the same time, we've got a crazy double team finisher. Your winners, Sanity, they will be taking on TM61 in the semifinal. I can already see who's going to be in the finals.
But still,
do I see who's going to win? No, but I see who's going to be in the finals.
But still, the fact that Sanity is built as a better monster stable than the authors of Samoa.
No, the authors of the militarized 3-minute warning.
I still call them 2.5 minute warning.
I'll stick to Hit Squad Light for them.
You know what? At least they're better than the Young Bucks.
Fuck the Bucks.
So
how many
this
times am
comes
I going to
to
hear
Sanity.
this?
So anyway, Sanity versus TM61 will happen in the semifinals, and that brings it to an end for NXT.
All right, which brings us. Go ahead.
Really, it was a really good show.
It was a really good show. I was really impressed. And I was also glad that they threw in some stuff from NXT San Jose. I'll throw in a couple NXT stuff, things that I saw a little later, but I'm not going to deal with that just yet.
All right, which brings us to Smackdown this week. We start off rough. Now remember, this is roughly notes because I was watching Smackdown and watching the presidential debate swinging back and forth. So these aren't the usual quality notes, even from me.
Literally crib notes.
Pretty much. So we find out...
these are the kind of notes you guys wanted me to write.
Pretty much. Yeah. So we find out that James Ellsworth will be part of Team SmackDown's as their official mascot.
Woo! Speaking of Ellsworth, something just came out today.
What's that?
Booker T don't like Ellsworth.
Oh,
Oh
He
darn! Shucky, quack,
Shucky,
quack,
shucky.
go fuck yourself. Shucky, duck, quack, quack, go.
Yeah,
fuck
I
yourself.
just saw the thing. I'm like, what's wrong with Ellsworth? I mean, yes, he's being a little bit overused, but
but
as a
hey,
comic-
but the
Well,
fans love him. You should see.
Hitting people all the damn time.
Hey, you see how much the crowd loves him. The whole freaking Scotland was cheering for him in SmackDown. Or was it?
well, you gotta
Ireland?
remember, whenever the WWE comes to the UK, everyone goes crazy, so they kind of take over the show. Remember?
Yeah, but usually when they really like one specific guy, they usually cheer him to the moon, like we discussed with Bailey earlier.
That's why
Oh
I
yeah,
love
like
shows when they're in Europe, because you see fans that actually get excited. You know?
yeah. I mean,
Go ahead.
I get what they're trying to do. I mean, it's great that they have all that happening to like the to everyone, like, you know, like participating, like saying, yeah, we like this guy. But there are times that this feels like, do you feel like that might just be taking over too fast? Because I've seen some of them where it's like, oh, geez, here we go. Like, we've seen like international shows hijack the entire show from start to finish.
That's what these guys pay. That's what you pay for.
You
You
pay
pay to have a
you,
time.
you pay to have fun, especially some of these prices for front row seats.
Especially in Europe, I hear those tickets are ridiculously expensive.
Well, it's because when they have to go to the UK, they got to get their money's worth.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I hear that the tickets are ridiculously expensive over there.
Oh, you mean Ring of Honor? You mean Ring of Honor prices under Sinclair Broadcasting trying to sell tickets in West Virginia?
Thank you.
So,
No.
and on that note, we finally have the final member of the Team SmackDown tag team run. Breezango. They defeat the Vault Villains.
Push Breezango.
Well, apparently they are, but the poor Vault Villains. You'd think they would have made a bigger deal than they are right now.
Their time Sin Cara cracked Gotch's jaw.
Well, vaudevillains, as much as one particular person on my Twitter feed loves Simon Gotch so much, the vaudevillains gimmick I don't think works very well. It works in a slightly smaller setting, but it's not as real if you catch my drift. They need. I don't think they need updating, but they need something. And
They need a
and the
refresh,
gimmick of them trying to be pugilists from the 1930s that are carnival acts, as brilliant as it is, does not work on a larger scale. It only works on a smaller scale.
Well,
The other problem was, to be honest, they were just kind of thrown in. They did not get a proper build. They did not get any hype whatsoever. You know, they just sort of were just stuck in there, and that was it. And it sucks because both of those guys, Simon Gotch and Aiden English, are fantastic.
Is very underrated.
They are very underrated, and I feel like, I mean, those guys are good. I mean, I like the guys. It's just that the way they're being done right now is just really sad. I really don't like that. It's just.
well, hopefully they go over to Raw, and to add to what Will said, I think they did the most successful when they were a face tag team in NXT. I know they had a good heel run too, but you see like there was a lot more momentum behind them when they were faces. But that's just me.
Yeah, but the thing is, also when that was happening, that was also at last year's Brooklyn event.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'm just glad that Fandango is finally getting a push.
hopefully they actually maintain that. So yeah, Breezango will join the rest of the teams for Team SmackDown, which, if I remember correctly, is Slayer, Rhino, the captains, American Alpha, the Usos, and they met.
The Busos.
I said the Usos.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let me recap. Slayer, Rhino, the captains, American Alpha, the Usos, Breezango, and I know there's a 15. Hype Brothers. Gee, now
Hype Bros.
now I wonder why I forgot about them.
You know what? I would not be
Sorry,
surprised
Zach.
you saying that, because I do feel bad, but it's one of those things of.
Anyway.
Dude, I'm a Zack Ryder fan, and I hate the fact that he's stuck with freaking Mojo.
Yeah. Hopefully he finds a way to break away. Anyway, Becky Lynch retains the SmackDown Women's Championship over Alexa Bliss in somewhat controversial fashion.
Yeah, I heard about this thing because I remember I was out at the time, but I heard about it from the spoilers was that she was holding her arm.
No, what happened was Becky Lynch had Alexa Bliss in her arm breaker finisher, and Alexa Bliss had her foot on the bottom rope, which should have been a rope break, but the referee never saw it. So when Alexa tapped out, and Becky Lynch was handed the win. Needless to say, Alexa Bliss wasn't exactly a happy pappy when she came to talking smack.
Oh, I can imagine. She's probably like, I hate you. I'm like, oh my. It looks like she's a little salty.
Now, these last 3 points actually kind of flow together, which is why I kind of rearranged the notes. Baron Corbin. Go ahead.
Before you went to the whole Baron Corbin and all that stuff.
Go ahead.
And it's a shame that you did not put this in the note. You hawk blocker.
I barely watched the show. I was too busy looking at the country.
Kurt Hawkins went out there, had a 5-star match. Yes, I'm going on Meltzer on this one. After that debauchery of his debut last week, went out there and defeated Apollo Crews in the match of the night.
I could just look up on YouTube to see how the match actually went, right?
You hug.
Yeah.
So
Hawkins wins.
Hawkins finally comes out, gets his win over Apollo Crews.
Can't believe that was left out. For shame.
Anyway, now on to the Baron Corbin story. So Baron Corbin goes up against Kalisto, and unfortunately, during the match, is injured. Now, it's announced later on that Kalisto would challenge Brian Kendrick for the Cruiserweight Championship at Survivor Series. So SmackDown's putting up a championship on the line. Now Raw's putting a championship on the line.
There's a catch to the Kalisto-Kendrick match, too. If Kalisto wins, the Cruiserweights get saved and get over to SmackDown.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, speaking of something with the Cruiserweights, I think you might have missed something on there.
205 Live?
With Sin Cara.
Oh, we can talk about that later.
We'll talk about that after this last bit. So, yeah, if Kalisto wins, not only does the Cruiserweight Championship go to SmackDown, but so does the entire Cruiserweight division.
Hey, boss.
SmackDown gets the Cruiserweights. So the Cruiserweights get the entirety get to be on SmackDown, and that's the reason why they're putting them on the network as 205.
Maybe.
But I'm going to be the first one to poo-poo this idea. And the reason why I say that is because, say what you want about TJ Perkins, him not having the belt too long, but having Kendrick lose the belt so quickly.
That is true.
I mean, that puts...
If they make a feud out of it with him and Kalisto, I won't bitch about that too much.
If they do it that way, fine. I'll let you get away with that. But that also means...
Done, I side with you.
If it's a tight match back and forth, and Kalisto barely pulls down the win to the point where it still makes Kendrick look like a legitimate threat, then okay, I'll accept this. If it's either Kalisto hits his finisher and Kendrick goes down like a bag of shit, then yeah, I'm on your side, Will.
And unfortunately, this also, and I hate to say it, it fucks over what was announced on Raw. Fucking Ziggler and Zayn. I don't think those two should be fighting each other.
No.
I don't think so.
They're baby faces by this point. You can't really have Sammy unless Sammy's the one that turns heel.
Match.
Well, you can have like I said, this is going to be the match that pretty much burns down the entire Survivor Series match.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Those two should be facing each other for a 5-star match. They should not be facing each other for titles. Okay? Because you're looking at trying to move titles over. Okay? So and at this point, the U.S. title isn't going to go over. So unless they're planning on keeping the Intercontinental title, it's a lose-lose situation, because if Ziggler loses, then all the shit that he went through with the Miz is for naught. And
well, remember the Miz is still complaining too, so that might actually intensify that feud.
But it's stupid, because the feud's already been done over and over and over and over. We're done with that. We don't need to work with them anymore. When feud's ended, let Miz go fuck Maurice and do another fucking movie. He won't be missed.
Go ahead, Lou.
No, because what I'm saying is they're setting up this week, Tuesday's fucking SmackDown, jumping ahead a bit, that the blow-off is going to be freaking this week, the final match between Miz and Ziggler. That's one of the matches set for Tuesday.
So we're finally having a grand finale in this long, painful feud.
Pretty much.
I assume this is also for the IC title.
It's supposed to be Miz is finally cashing in his rematch, and that this is the final match between the two.
So we have
at least that's before Survivor Series.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: it fucks over both people.
Oh no, it's still kind of fucked up. But
it really fucks over both people, because right now Zayn so needs a win. He so needs a win. He needs a good win, and I don't think he beat the last guy, did he?
No, he lost most of his last couple pay-per-views.
He's lost most of his last. He needs a good win, and to beat Dolph Ziggler, particularly for the Intercontinental title, would be fantastic. But I think he's facing the wrong guy. He needs to go up against Rusev. No, not Rusev. He needs to go up against the United States title. He really does.
That's Roman.
Yeah, he needs to go for the U.S. title.
So what you do? So that means you have to also replace Roman from Team Raw with who? Rusev?
I never said you had to do that. I never said you had to do it now. I think that the build for Sami Zayn could go through Roadblock to the Rumble. You don't need to do it now. Build it up on Raw after Survivor Series.
I honestly think they're going to pull the switcheroo. Zayn's going to win the IC belt, and Kalisto's going to win this match.
Well, we'll see next week.
Next week
when we start making our predictions.
Oh, next week's going to be fun.
Is there a thing that WWE has with Kalisto?
Like what?
What do they like about him? I don't understand.
He's the only guy in the match that hasn't injured someone. Go ahead.
He's the only luchador they actually have in the damn organization right now.
They don't
that
have.
Doesn't explain. They don't.
What are you about to say, Lou?
They don't have a Spanish kid that they can push. That's.
They could go for the Shining Stars, but we all know how that one turned out.
So yeah.
Oh, please, Primo have been buried for the past 3 years.
They've been buried since they stopped being called Epico and Primo.
Yep.
They went from tag team champions to El Matadors to the Shining Stars.
They need to go ahead and bring in Epico's older brother again, but I'm not going to go into that.
Well, what they should do is they should bring in the entire family onto Raw and have Carlos go, "Hey, what are you doing with my title?
This is my yes.
Hey,
I was the Universal Champion."
Hey, that would be an interesting way to build it up. But anyway,
I digress.
So now we finally get to the big question. I'm pretty sure no one's asking except our 2,000 viewers. Who is Baron Corbin's replacement? Daniel Bryan went down, had the list of every active male and female SmackDown superstar minus himself because he's technically not active. And the one name
that would have been an amazing replacement for Baron Corbin.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. Of course. Even Daniel Bryan's current state would have been an amazing replacement for Baron Corbin.
Well, I think we've already run through the joke. One of these things just doesn't belong here.
I was going to use that as a title card, but I didn't want to give it away. So yeah.
Yeah, that was too easy.
So yeah, we finally just. So yeah, it was announced that the commissioner will lead his team directly. Shane McMahon will replace Baron. will replace Baron Corbin as a member of Team SmackDown.
That means
Give
Shane's
him
gonna
credit.
end, kids.
Give him credit for trying to actually do this kind of crap. Since he last wrestled wasn't WrestleMania, so basically he's like, my body's healed. Let's try again.
Well, at least he doesn't have to jump off of a cage this time. I mean,
Oh yeah, because let's be honest. You can only jump off a cage of maybe 1, 2, none, because you shouldn't do that.
What about
to be fair, the first time that really happened, the first time it was planned, and the second time it wasn't.
Like I said, that
98
Shane's,
Hell in the Cell, McFoley.
Go ahead, Lou.
what I'm saying is that means Shane's gonna be the first one to get pinned.
Probably, but hey.
Probably.
But hey, Commissioner's leading his team to bow, so I guess that makes it interesting. So that's it.
Well, yeah, Commish.
Now, here's the funny part about all this. I know it's going to be something later on, but since they're trying to get him in there, I know Mick Foley can't because of his body is like, nope, not going to happen.
And Stephanie
The only other-
so Triple H?
I think Triple H is going to be too easy to call, but they could set up something for WrestleMania, but I think at this point it might be a little too early to start that because, some people they can't wait that long.
And I wouldn't use Triple H anyway because they still haven't resolved a particular problem.
Yep, Triple H and Rollins.
And Seth Rollins. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
They haven't resolved that yet.
Yeah, that's right.
That's exactly what I'm getting at because they have to get that first, and plus it's too early. I know WrestleMania is going to be in April and it's only November. Even still, some people are like, we can't wait that long. It has to happen soon. I'm like, no.
No,
Because of how some of these people are nowadays, it's just their ADD is just...
They're into instant gratification. They don't appreciate the slow build sometimes.
They don't know what a slow build is.
Like, they don't know what the truth meaning of slow build to where it's actually so satisfying that's like, hell yeah, this is why we waited so long for this.
You want a good example of a slow build, though? A poor execution, to be honest? Sting versus Hogan when Sting went to the black and white paint.
Starrcade 97.
That was a great build. Unfortunately, they fucked up the finish.
Like
Exactly.
Like I said, an amazing
read
build,
about
a
that
poor
one.
execution.
Thanks, Nick Patrick.
And that's one of the main reasons why I'm a little scared if they ever actually do that again, because creative's gonna screw it up.
That wasn't creative. That was the problem. It was Nick Patrick who fucked it
Nick
up.
Patrick botched it.
For once, Creative was doing their job. They they dotted every I, crossed every T. Unfortunately, one of the T's they crossed was in the paycheck of Nick Patrick.
Hogan gets for those of you that don't know, Hogan gets a legit 3 count, and they try to say that it was a fast count.
Because Nick Patrick was supposed to be a heel, except the fact that he didn't speak like he was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, have you guys heard the rumors about Hogan?
What happened?
Yeah.
Coming home.
That he might come back by next year?
Yes.
Yeah, we figured that.
Back.
Because most of the things with Gawker are now done, so Hogan might come back. No,
Good.
it's not gonna be might, but when.
Will
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah.
So-
Brooke has pretty much confirmed a lot of that shit too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Let's
Come
get back
home.
on track.
You do.
So now that we have Shane leading the SmackDown team for the 5-on-5 at Survivor Series, and we have James Ellsworth being a mascot.
well, I think the Raw team is fine. I also think that the SmackDown team with a bunch of underdogs works out really well.
Because you have a bunch of elements in the Raw team. You have the feud between Owens and Rollins. You have the 2 former members of the Shield. You have Braun Strowman, who apparently
Technically, you have all 3 members of the Shield.
Well, I meant on the same team. I meant to say.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Dean Ambrose is on Team SmackDown, so eventually, when all 3 of them are in the ring, that's just going to be one of those moments you just pay attention to.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
would
gonna-
see a nice little bonus interaction with Mick and James Ellsworth. That's just me being a Mick Foley fan, of course.
Hey, don't be surprised if Mick's out there of Team SmackDown Team Raw to quote, keep the odds even. But
Like I said,
I wouldn't be surprised, but I almost get the feeling it's not going to be Mick Foley. It's going to be Steph.
Well, I'd rather it be Steph. Mick, if you've seen him walk,
Oh yeah,
he's
that's
not
right.
in any shape to get in the ring. I mean,
That's-
he's
Get
getting
out.
better. I'm glad.
Jack?
Huh?
I'm not saying for him to go out there and have a fucking Cactus Jack match. I mean, just a quick little interaction with him and Ellsworth, pull out Sacco.
That's fine. But if he gets any more than that, I mean, he can barely move. He can barely move. Watching him walk out to the ring.
No, it's heartbreaking. I love
is
Mick.
Heartbreaking. I love to watch Mick,
Oh,
and
unfortunately,
I'm so glad he's starting to lose a lot of the weight that he had with DDP because I mean I would love for him to go down to 230.
the power of DDP yoga is amazing.
I think he needs to cut his hair a little bit so his face matches. But I think that's also just as inner Santa.
I'm just saying, a little thing like Ellsworth breaks up a count, Mick could grab him by his legs, pull him outside, give him the mandible claw. That's it.
Either that or worst case, or if he wants to flip the king, so on the opposite end, Mick stops a 3 count, Ellsworth hits him with no gym music, knocks him down.
I'm not sure if he'd be able to take that.
Well, I'm hoping Ellsworth doesn't actually kick him, but you know what I mean.
No, I mean the fall. I don't think he'd be able to take that.
Oh, ooh, yeah, good point.
Yeah, let's be honest. Like he probably can't take that fall. It's like
Have you watched Holy Foley?
Not to stay sane.
Yeah, it's actually not as bad. I mean, it's still a reality show.
Is it better
There's
than
still,
Total Bellas, also known as the John Cena show?
Herpes is better than Total Bellas, but you see,
Why won't you marry me? Shut up, Dickie.
Holy Foley
That's
at least concentrates mostly on the father-daughter dynamic.
I just want to shit out of Noel's boyfriend. That should be an
people, well, a lot of people like Frank the Clown. Surprisingly enough, I don't think he's a bad guy.
Yeah, ho.
But
that should a whole episode me kicking that kid's ass.
But
just because you want her
to see.
No, it has nothing to do with wanting her. She's a baby. To me, she's a baby. So
I fuck the shit out of her.
I think she's barely 21, 22.
I just want to kick that ass because he doesn't respect the business.
He doesn't know the business. He doesn't know the business.
Stick him in there with 5 minutes with freaking New Jack after he took a dip. New Jack and Sabu after they went into Matt Hardy's Lake of Regeneration. So that they're at their prime, and then he'll respect the business or respect the hospital beds that he's in. Anyway,
so we're done with the recap part of the recap.
Yeah, we're done.
So to get on to Holy Foley, there's some good stuff in there. Although there's stuff in there like Foley going into a freeze sauna, and that was not apparently fun and such. There's some weird stuff that happens. There's some very awkward moments. One of Mick's sons is autistic, and we know this, and it comes off of the camera as being a little awkward. But I'm glad all of them stuck it out. It shows Dewey's beginnings as a writing assistant at WWE Creative. I think that's fantastic for Dewey.
Go ahead.
I just yelled out Kane Dewey.
But I'm glad that family is having more success than just Mick. Colette's
life is beautiful.
Colette's interesting. She's interesting. I know I have problems collecting Optimus Prime action figures, but for crying out loud, they have a place. Go watch the first episodes of Holy Foley on the WWE Network. That is not actually my wrestling recommendation. I am actually taking a cop out on the wrestling recommendation and say go watch NXT Brooklyn Takeover 2. The fucking Nakamura Joe match. Just watch that. That's a good match. that's my recommendation.
Get
Like
that
I said,
out the way.
it's not a bad match. It's just not people thinking, oh, you need to watch something old and shit. No, watch these two guys. They know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
You know,
Also, I just want to say I'm just. Never mind. Actually, I'm just gonna go for really stupid. Just keep on going, guys.
well, we still have way more than enough time, but if you
Well,
want
one
to talk
thing-
go ahead.
News section.
Say again?
There's one thing we did miss in the news section.
Okay, what did we miss?
Sin Cara cracked Chris Jericho's shit.
Oh,
Oh yes, yes. Oh, well, this is like what his second or third time he's done this.
so now
Why
we know
do
why
you
Sin
keep
Cara
pissing
took
this
off.
guy off?
Go ahead.
What is with Sin Cara? Like, what is with Sin Cara lately? That he's been like within the last year, he's gotten in so much trouble.
And this isn't even Mystico. This is Unico.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is Sin Cara too.
This is the guy that knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, the guy that did it tried to ruin his neck when he tried to first debut. What happened? Like, seriously, what's his deal? I mean,
Him off. That's what his deal is.
and he tells them to, like, I'm quoting here. He tells people to fuck off, telling him to stop. I'm like, something's wrong with you, dude. And now he's actually going to anger management. Good on him, but what's his cause for being so angry? Like, that's what I really want to know. Why are you angry? Aren't you happy? Of course, some people aren't.
See what a guy.
Punk notwithstanding, just because he had an ego. But we're not going to go there.
Why do people keep pushing this guy's buttons? That's what you need to ask.
Exactly.
What are his buttons?
Exactly. What are his buttons? What's his reason for being angry? It's just, I want to know exactly.
So what you're saying is that Hunico needs to go on to Breaking Kayfabe and do a session. Do a session with your favorite person in the world, Sean Oliver.
Eat a dick.
Here's the thing, though. Maybe it might help him just to get out and actually just like. What if for some reason he actually has enough and decides to demask in the middle of the ring? And so it's like, dude, what are you doing? No. What are you doing?
He won't do that.
He
won't do that. One, the fans aren't smart. Or the fans either already know that he's Unico, or they don't care. Honestly, they don't care either way. But the other thing is, he won't do that just out of
spite,
reverence to Mexico, reverence to actual lucha libre. He won't do it. He won't do it. You know, it's this isn't Conan. This isn't Rey Mysterio getting paid huge sums of money to demask. Say again?
I want to say that clearly so everyone hears it. He's not a piece of shit like Conan.
Although one great thing Conan actually did was he fucked Sean Oliver out of his money.
There you go.
Jeez.
Conan.
So now that we see what he's going for a session, how long do you think he'll be gone off the road?
I don't think he's going to be gone off the road because they're still using him. They just have him going to anger management on his time off.
Yeah, because I remember they talked about it on this week that he actually got kicked off the bus.
Yeah, they were also saying up and down, he's going to be fired and all this other stupid shit. But
and when it comes to firing, that's like when you actually hear about the firing is like when you actually see it from the WWE website.
If they fire him, I call bullshit because of half the things that piece of garbage Randy Orton has done and he still has a job.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have heard so much about that. I'm like, oh, geez. There's absolutely no way they could do something like that with...
Do an entire episode about what a piece of crap Randy Orton is if you really want to.
Like, Randy Orton, I mean, I understand for his reason for having to stay just because he actually had one of his strikes taken off because of good behavior.
Oh, please.
But he still only has one strike on his account. And it's one of those things that, oh, well, what am I putting it? Like as if actually it's a internet thing to where like, oh, he's got a strike. Whatever. It's one of those things that I just feel like Randy Orton, there's got to be a point to like, why did you do what you did? And are you happy you got married and you're not going to be shitting in people's bags anymore?
I don't think I think he's past that point, to be honest. Or I think Orton is past that particular point to where, he's not going to fuck around with people anymore. He's got a wife and kid and a kid or kids or something like that. I don't remember.
A kid about to come.
And
I got kids.
Well, it's not Heath Slater. I mean, Heath Slater is just that shit's
Heath
just
Slater
hilarious.
is Heath Slater.
Heath Slater is hilarious. I mean, that's
like,
just awesome.
I'm
shit.
on a double wide.
I mean, the double wide thing was fantastic. But I gotta say that I think we're past the point of Orton needing a target on his head. He's okay. I mean, I don't think he's that bad anymore. But as for him, like, the shit that he used to pull, the reason why he wasn't in the Marine was definitely founded.
Yes, considering his past that he actually tried to be a Marine, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that happened.
Yeah, so yeah, just whatever. I think to me, Orton is past that point. I think he's been given enough time to mature and figure stuff out. Obviously, he seems to be a lot more stable than he was. Was he a piece of shit? Yes. Should we carry the grudge on him now? Yeah, I'm talking with a couple of Jersey guys, so I have no idea.
And you're talking with the guy who has just gotten into this thing just a few years ago.
Just remember what JR said about Orton. The only reason he signed him was because of his last name.
Oh, no, I agree. I agree. I mean, he's coming to his own now, but I agree. I mean, it's the same thing with The Rock. It's the same thing with The Rock, and the man can't throw a drop kick to save his life, but look what happened. You gotta find the right way to get the right heat, putting both of them win as heels. That worked out pretty well for the both of them, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, no, definitely.
So
can't deny that Orton is a success, but he's still a piece of crap.
Well,
yeah. Also,
go ahead.
I just want to say this, John. I was looking on my Facebook and I see what one of your posts you did, and someone posted a very funny wrestling related pic about what happened.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go on.
Yeah.
Oh boy, let's go on to match recommendations. I'm kind of gonna cheat too, because all week something kept bugging me about the perfect team. You should look up the perfect team. So I'm just going to recommend All Survivor Series 1990, which featured the match. That's why I said the perfect team kept drilling in my head all week. I just had to remember, like, which Survivor. I finally broke down last night. I said, which Survivor Series was that? Oh yeah, this one. Because you had the matches like the Hulkamaniacs versus the Warriors. You had the Natural Disasters.
Hulkamaniacs versus the Natural Disasters.
Natural Disasters. The Warriors was against the perfect team, wasn't it?
No, the Natural... Oh, yeah, my bad, yeah. The Hulkamaniacs versus the Natural Disasters. I'm reading this wrong because I'm derp. The Warriors went against the perfect team, which... God, that had to be a smash. It was...
No, it wasn't. Well, it was a smash, but...
I said it looked like it would have been smashed, but yeah.
Well, that match was brilliant. I mean, or that team name was brilliant because,
mind you, Perfect Team was Mr. Perfect and all three members of Demolition: Axe, Smash, and Crush.
Mm-hmm. Now, for those of you that
impressive in and of itself with Warrior, Carrie, and the Legion of Doom.
But you got to understand the whole Warrior team was kind of like tongue in cheek at the same time, because if you go back. Not only are you dealing with the Road Warriors, but you also have Kerry Von Erich, who in WCCW was the modern day Warrior. So you really did have the Warriors team.
Yeah.
And everybody, and you had two people that could work well, and you had another person that could work pretty good, and then you had the Ultimate Warrior, but that was okay. So, you know, I mean, that was actually a good setup. That was actually a really good setup, particularly since you had two champions on that one team. You had Warrior as the world champion at the time, and you had Kerry Von Erich, the Texas Tornado, as he was known as Intercontinental Champion. In fact, he had just beaten Mr. Perfect.
Well, he beat Perfect in August at SummerSlam, but yeah.
Yeah.
The other matches include stuff like the Alliance, which was Nikita Volkov, Tito Santana, and the Bushwhackers versus Sergeant Slaughter's Mercenaries.
Slaughter's team got squashed.
Duggan wasn't in that one? I thought Duggan was in that one.
No, the Mercenaries made up of Slaughter, Boris, and the Orient Express.
This is one of my favorite pay-per-views. Slaughter's promo on the way to the ring where he actually makes Piper flip out and curse on the air is freaking... Oh, man.
Slaughter can get people pissed off. Unfortunately,
too brutal. If you thought,
she
going on and on about it's Thanksgiving. Me and my team, we sat down. We had a grand Thanksgiving dinner. What did you soldiers over in the Middle East have? Hot turkey sandwich in your K ration. Piper snaps. He's like, "Oh, you cheap ass son of a bitch!"
The other team is the Dream Team of Dusty Rhodes, baby. The Hart Foundation and Coco Beware against the $1 Million Team, which was DiBiase, Riven and Bruise, and surprise entrance that'll be known throughout history in WWE. In fact, we had two debuts that'll be known in history throughout WWE in this particular Survivor Series.
But one bad.
One for two in complete opposite directions of the spectrum.
Two Hall of Famers debuted that night.
And complete opposite ends of the spectrum. So yeah, enough hyping. This was the debut of The Undertaker to join Ted DiBiase's team.
Unfortunately, we had no Paul Bearer there.
Yeah, this was at the time he was managed by Brother Love.
Love you. I actually saw a video of Brother Love's debut. That was interesting.
How was that?
Was interesting because
John put it up the other day.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. But do you know how he got started? You know how the gimmick got started?
His story on Cornette's show. Yeah.
Yeah, he explained the whole thing on Cornette's show. The Reader's Digest version. Basically, he comes up with the idea of doing a Southern evangelist kind of character, and he interrupts a meeting that Vince is in. So Vince is apparently impressed enough not to fire him. So he goes, "Okay, can we get it on tape?" So he does a few takes of it, and then the big angle with Jim Baker and the affair with his assistant happened, and the character was made.
Oh, man. Great stuff.
Man.
Timing could not have been better. So if you want to hate Bruce Pritchard, don't, guys. I mean, there are many reasons to hate Bruce Pritchard, but that is not one of them.
Gold. Brother Love was gold.
The last match, and actually we should go back to the main event real quick, because the main event was the Hulkamaniacs, Hogan, Tugboat, Jim Duggan, that's the match he was in, and the Big Boss Man versus the Natural Disasters, Earthquake.
No.
What?
The main event.
The main event was one Hispanic Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior versus 6 heels. Or 5 heels.
Tito was on that match to be the only guy that gets pinned.
Yep. Yeah, because Tito won. That's right. It was
Right.
$1 Million Man, and then somehow it was it the Warlord, the Model Rick Martel, and Power and Glory?
Yeah, I forgot. The sole survivors of all the matches faced off in a big fight finale.
The final
where Paul Roma actually did get the job done.
So let's go back to the first match, and then we'll go up to Hulkamanias and Natural Disasters. Yeah, the Vipers, Jake Roberts as captain, the Rockers, which was Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, and Jimmy Snuka versus the Visionaries. Rick Martel as captain, Power and Glory, and the Warlord. The only time you'll see Paul Roma in a positive light here.
Hey, the Powerplex was an awesome finish.
That is true. We also had the
Yeah.
Hulk. We also touched on this a couple of seconds ago. We had Hogan's Tugboat, and Boss Man versus Quake, Dino Bravo, Haku, and the Barbarian. And if I remember this,
Which was originally supposed to be Rick Rude, but apparently they gave a bullshit reason for firing him.
was
Use naughty language
it
on
this,
Superstars.
was it this match or a future match of which it was Tugboat became Typhoon?
Well, he didn't become Typhoon.
That would be way ahead because Tugboat was way after that.
Okay.
Of course, we got to say, bless his heart, Rick Rude, but of course we all understand his best line in the whole wide world. You ain't shit, Rhodes. Well, pitfalls of live television, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh boy. And of course, we got the debut of another memorable WWE character. A character so memorable, an award was named after him. Yes, he came from an egg. God damn it, John! I was trying to do some epic build-up.
You mean the costume that I'm wearing in my Mitomo right now?
Yes, the Gobbledygooker also made his debut in Survivor Series.
We are so sorry, Hector. We are so sorry that you had to wear that thing.
Why do you think he works at TNA now? Hector Guerrero, for people who don't know.
We are so sorry, Hector, that you work at TNA. We are so sorry.
Anyway, that was my very long-winded recommendation. Survivor Series 1990. I apologize for taking up that much time.
Yeah, watch Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior squash an almost entire roster.
Yeah, I don't know, a quarter of the roster.
I should say the roster that mattered.
Well, did you say the Mercenaries got freaking swept? So that's 4 members gone already. Anyway, you guys go.
Go ahead, John.
Well, since they put up the Macho Man pack on the WWE Network, and it's actually a single match without having to go through the whole fucking thing, I'm actually going to suggest the Saturday night's main event match between Jake Roberts and Randy Savage for the Intercontinental title.
Yay!
Intercontinental. Oh, way back when. Not the second run.
That's when they made a mistake and booked the heel versus heel match.
It's a part of the Randy Savage Cream of the Crop pack.
Mm-hmm. Great match. Oh yeah, that's right. Will gave his already. So
it's your turn.
Mine already. I gave mine already.
Well, for me, my match recommendation, I'm going to keep it simple. I didn't really sit there and do a whole bunch of research. It's just a personal favorite match of mine.
So you pulled a me.
Not really. It's just everyone knows how much I like this match. Anyone who knows me anyway. A lot of people seem to go on and on about the Mr. Perfect versus Bret Hart match from Survivor Series 91, considering the fact that Kurt's back injury was going on at the time.
SummerSlam 91. In fact, I just watched that.
91, yep. But considering, the back injury that Kurt had at the time and all that, he was hurting. He wasn't even supposed to do the match, and the fact that he still went out there and performed the way that he did. Flawless match. That's an amazing match, but I'm not focusing on that one. The one that I'm talking about is the semifinal match from King of the Ring 1993. To me, that match had just a better flow than the SummerSlam match did. The promo leading into it was great, with him and Kurt going back and forth about, my dad could kick your dad's ass. The match was just
I still remember SummerSlam, Hart.
Mm-hmm. I still remember SummerSlam. You think I forgot? But Kurt Hennig meant the world to me. So I put him up on the same level as Dusty Rhodes and Hulk Hogan, and I always go on and on about them, and I don't go on enough about Kurt. Watch that match.
So I guess that's all our recommendations, unless you have something you want to toss and read.
I got nothing.
I think I pretty much took up a lot of the time when we were discussing Survivor Series 90.
Well,
No,
technically,
it's
we
all
still
right.
got another half an hour if you really want to, but
I thought we were actually trying to cut down on our time.
Oh well, we just flow
Fine. Fine.
we just flow back and forth. So anything you want to add, gentlemen?
Let's see. There's a couple other things we can sit there and pull all of our asses and have a discussion about.
Well, this
so in
one-
other words, we should probably stop it now before we.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you for listening, everyone. Remember, 2 weeks is the live show, and will be and next week will be the last episode exclusively on my channel. So I'll also link the new channel on the thing because I probably should do that because that is smart in the description. So thank you for listening, everyone, and have a happy broken post-election day.
Trump rules.
Rules, brother.
Uh,
And